Okay, we're gonna call the meeting to order at 7:07. Yes, the first item on the agenda is Matthew Lepore. Matthew, can you step forward, please?
Now, did everybody get, I scanned that, his application to
Right.
you.
I got it, okay, mine.
I didn't.
What did you get? You didn't?
I told you I should show them, so.
I guess you could show. Hang on a minute, we're gonna let the other fellow down the other end look at it.
Oh, you have to appoint Harry as a voting
Yeah.
member.
At this time, we'll appoint Harry Minzigian as an alternate this evening.
As a voting member, he is an alternate.
Yeah, sorry.
Let's see, okay, Harry appointed.
Yes.
It's nice to have some young blood.
Thank you for volunteering, Matthew.
Absolutely.
Let's see,
You came highly recommended by John, so, which is a good thing.
John, it says John Curtin. John
Yeah.
Curtin or Curtis?
Curtain.
Good.
Who is John Curtin?
He's
Ah, there he
He's our,
is.
he's our cameraman.
I didn't know that, John.
AKA Jack.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions for Matthew?
Yeah, can you, make the once a month evening meetings?
Absolutely.
Thursday, it's usually the first Thursday of the month,
Mm-hmm.
unless there's a holiday or something. Or we don't have a quorum.
Do you have any questions for us?
Not at this time, no.
Okay.
We're charged with, so I can remember this, the protection of the natural resources in town, working with other committees in town. We review dredge and fill applications, if they come in, any dredge and fill applications. Sometimes go on site walks with the planning board, especially if it's near the river or wetlands involved. And we have a lot of easements on different properties. The senior housing places will call and ask, what can they or can't they do according to the easements that are on their plan. We clean up 3A 4 times a year. We're supposed to do it 4 times a year.
From Pinecrest to Hillcrest, not the whole thing.
Yeah, just 2 miles.
Yeah, your first job would be to clean all the 3 acres.
I used to do that with National Honor Society. We used to
Oh, all right,
clean
so you've been-
across
Good.
Good
Albuquerque.
experience then, he's got experience.
Okay. And we're an advisory board. We do not have the power to approve or deny permits. We're an advisory board strictly. And RSA 36A is our enabling legislation in the state. And that's all I can think of for the point.
Then we'll move your application on to the Board of Selectmen they'll set you an appointment to meet with them.
Okay.
Okay. And you're welcome to sit in for the rest of the evening if you'd like, and you're welcome to sit in. And you can ask any questions at the close of the meeting if you'd like tonight, okay?
All right.
Good, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, shooting on town property. What's that one about, Joan?
Okay, the senior housing at, the one on Cutler Road that's on I think it's Fernwood Drive.
Yep, okay.
They were having quite a bit of problem. They had a meeting, Troy and the police chief went down and met with them, and Troy wanted us to discuss it and what should the town do, but it's on state property where the problem is occurring. So Troy and police chief did say, get in touch with the state. I had a call from Darlene at the horse farm. They had problems up there, and I think it was on Moore's Fall. No, no,
No, on 3A.
3A, at our Moore's Fall property, and the owner there did go down and talk to the people, and I don't know if she's had continuing problems, but, it's an issue. Because Londonderry's cracked down, they don't
Yeah.
want target shooting in their conservation land,
Yeah, they're having some major problems over there.
yeah.
Well, were they hunting turkeys or?
No, target shooting.
Just target shooting.
Really?
Well, there is the state law that you can't fire a firearm less than 300 feet from
Right,
any public structure.
Structure. right.
is it an occupied structure?
But
Occupied structure?
no, structure,
Structure.
period.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, they probably were, like at the horse farm, they probably were 300 feet away, but she said it really spooks the horses, and if you've got a little kid on a horse,
Right.
it becomes
That's
a problem.
the need, yeah.
Well,
So,
that means they're shooting down on near the mines, near the
Moore's
falls.
Falls, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, where Morris Falls is surrounded by St. Francis and the horse farm, I really think we might consider no hunting down there, no shooting of any kind. We did post signs, that people walking should be aware that there might be hunting going on. But maybe the selectmen need to
Well,
consider.
The
no
big difference
hunting
between hunting and shooting.
Yeah, there
With
is.
hunting, you might hear a shot. With shooting, you're gonna hear a lot of shots. I mean, it's.
Yeah,
Well, there's a couple other things. First of all, with target shooting, I don't think there's any berms or any safe backdrops over
In
there.
that
So
area.
right,
these people don't even know where those things are going.
right, right.
Have we contacted the fishing game?
No, it's our property.
It doesn't really
The
make any
shooting is still
difference.
involved, it's still a
But
fishing
fishing
game.
game can also help us out.
The people who hold the easement on the top piece are gonna go down there pretty soon, and then they report to Fish and Game and us. So, yeah, we should, as far as what, getting signs or what?
Well, they'll help us get signs, but they'll also do some investigation on
Yeah.
who's shooting and.
But if we don't have anything that says they can't shoot, can they shoot? If it doesn't say,
I would think the issue would be with the school. I mean, good lord, you get kids playing out in recess and whatever, and
Well, how far is the river edge from the school? You think it's at least?
I don't know where I don't know where they're shooting.
Somebody
Yeah.
just always knows they're shooting down behind the horse farm, which would be Moore's Falls.
I would say that it'd be pretty close to their. Breaking the law as far as shooting goes.
The location.
Well, I'll talk to the police chief and see what he knows, and then I'll call Fish and Game.
Now, has the chief investigated that up the dock hall as well?
No, I don't think so. I don't know, but I don't think he has. She called here, talked to me. And it really it posted no target shooting.
Right.
Yeah, target shooting is definitely different than hunting.
Yeah, exactly, and I really don't have a problem with hunting, but I think I would tend to have a
Yeah,
problem.
I know
with
that
shooting.
Londonderry over Musquash Swamp, they used to be able to target shoot, but I think they've since.
Well, they were target shooting out by the golf course on the power line, and it's prohibited, but they're still doing it, and there's a lot of people that walk out there, so, and they put a sign at the beginning, be careful of target shooters.
So, okay, you're gonna get hold of Fish and Game?
Yes, I will, see if there's anything we can do.
Okay, River Access Subcommittee report.
Dick, boys, come on up.
very nice.
Yeah.
I don't think the input is set here.
Um,
Input. Okay, might have to go without this. Unless Jack, you know how to fire this thing up.
They're using it Tuesday.
Try. Guess not. Okay, we'll have to go off the pictures. Okay, so, we're here to give you an update on the River Access Committee and the work that we've done. Just to give you a little bit of background, as you know, we formed the River Access Committee a couple of months ago. We've got about a dozen members. The charter of the committee was to take a look at the different potential river access sites in town, and over the past couple of months, we've done that. In short, we took a look at, investigated about 7 sites, which you see on the first map right there. Those red dots are the sites that we looked at. There was 1 federal piece of property, 2 private pieces of property, 1 piece of property in Manchester, and 3 pieces of property that were owned by the town. We then narrowed that down to 4 pieces of property, 3 of which are in the center of town, the town land at 296 Charles Bancroft Highway, and a couple of private piece of property right near the library with the barn. What was that, gentleman?
Jefferson's.
Yeah, Jefferson's.
House.
And then the state land, which is just south of that as well. And we also took a look at the property up by the Manchester Airport underneath the bridge. Those are properties that we took, that we actually went and visited. And the long and the short of it is, we came to a consensus that the piece of property at the 296 Charles Bancroft Highway, which is across from the brick house, met pretty much all the criteria that we were looking for. And we were pleasantly surprised when we went there to find out that it was a very gentle slope from the road to the river. The river was calm in that area, and
There's already cut out, access
is already there. It's actually, yep, good point. So if you flip to page 2, which has got the 3 numbers on it, 1, 2, and 3, at our last site walk, those are the 3 pieces of property we looked at. And after meeting with the River Access Committee after the site walks, the general consensus was that 3rd property was checked all the boxes. So then what we did is, if you flip to the 3rd page, you kind of see some conceptual design plan there. We grabbed any and all available information that we could get our hands on and put together a conceptual design for how we could get access to the river from the road. And that yellow line that you see there is a potential driveway, which would be approximately 865 feet. The elevation difference from the road to the parking area that you see down there is approximately 23 feet. It's pretty, 23 feet sounds like a lot, but over 800 feet, it's really not too bad. And then, as Pete mentioned, there's already an existing area right down by the river where you could easily drag your canoe in. There's almost like a car turnaround there already.
That's where they put the irrigation pump in the summertime.
And so it looks, we were, put it this way, when we looked at that lot, we all looked at each other and said, this thing is awesome.
This is it.
It's awesome. And so that's where we're at right now. What we've done since taking a look at this piece of property is Rich back here talked to a couple of the paving folks in town to see what it would take to actually get access in there. So before we go down that road, let me tell you what the committee was thinking. Number one, trying to get access getting access from 3A down toward the river, toward that parking area, would most likely be done with just a gravel road like you see at Dara Pond and the different other places in town. Would be done by a gravel road, scoop out all the loam, putting gravel down there and bring it down to 865 feet to where you could park about 5 or 10 cars. Anything else, Pete, that I'm missing there?
No,
Anything else? Feel like I'm missing something.
I mean, there is
Oh, thank
partially
you.
tractor road that was already here in this area, so,
Could I just interject? I had Luke Herron, the town's consulting engineer, take a look at it. His suggestion was to come in on the property line. He thought it was shorter than to come through the middle of the field.
Yep.
So that was his suggestion.
okay. Do you have the pin for, I mean, does the town own this portion of the land?
No, not
Off the pin.
inside the black line.
Okay, so that black line
Looks pretty accurate.
looks accurate? So
I
this
have
part
that.
of the field isn't owned by the town right
No.
here?
Right, right.
It's
not-
got a property better next to it.
So the thinking was bring it right down through that middle. There's only two places for it, right down pretty much where we put that yellow line. The reason why we put that yellow line where it is because, as Pete said, there was an existing tractor road right there. A matter of fact, from that station number 0 to the station 2, which is 200 feet off the road, you'll start seeing a dashed line. That's where there was an existing tractor road that brought you all the way down. And it was already pretty well matted down. However, we noticed that the farmer goes through there and chews that up and probably pushes it back down.
The other thought is, too, the grade off the road here was a lot gentler than it is over here, which I guess in the grand scheme of things isn't a big
Yep.
deal. And then also, instead of, if you're over here, does that make this section of land unfarmable?
But by putting the thing down through the middle, it makes it,
Well,
really impedes the farming to start with, so if you're gonna impede anything, it's better off to put it.
better off, okay.
Is someone farming this?
Charlie does, yeah.
I talked to Charlie, and he said whatever was there, you could go.
Yeah, you can go
over
right
around.
up and over, pick it up and,
Not really.
no?
Pick up the blade.
Yeah, that's not quite that simple.
Well, either place, by the driveway, that was our plan B. And if that's, either one would work.
And I talked to the police chief as well, and he said, yes, they would go down there and investigate, on a daily basis or often.
Okay, the plan, I got a question. The plan is just to use for kayaks and canoes?
Correct.
There you go. That's what I was
Yeah.
forgetting. So the plan is for rooftop access.
Okay.
All that would really need to be done is you just need to get down there and you need a place to park. People would pull the canoe or the kayak off their vehicle and drag it down to the river. There wouldn't be any turnaround at the river that would be turned into a gravel road or anything like that. You're just getting down to around where those parking areas are and pull it off the
And
canoe.
then from the parking lot to the edge of the river, would there be some sort of trail or?
There already
There already
is.
is, it's already cut in.
You wouldn't even have to take any trees down
Okay.
Yeah,
down
'cause they
there.
farm right down to the river, basically, and the irrigation pump goes in when they need it in the summertime down there.
Oh, sure, if I know. Anyway.
It's actually right down onto the, it's already almost a ramp.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's like, we were stunned.
And we decided not to have cars back down there because it's clay soil, it would be slippery and sinkable.
You can have cars get stuck.
Yeah.
Warren may like it, but that'd be about it.
Okay, my other question is, if we put that road in, and you said Charlie's already farming this,
Oh, yeah, right. Mhm.
so if what we literally do, cut him off from that section?
No. He said to me that he could go around anything. We would talk to him again, I think.
No, we need to talk to them again.
Maybe even have him in so he could explain it. We could explain what material we'd be using and then make sure it's, because we don't want to cut off two sections, have two sections. They can't get to it.
But logically, it makes more sense to put the road in where the yellow line is. If you follow this, this little piece here would be kind of hard for him to work with, whereas he's got a pretty long run here.
Yeah.
That and the line of sight from here, I mean, you can see both sides of the road really, really good, so there's no issue with.
That was the other thing we checked when we were there. The line of sight from there is it's dead straight.
Yeah,
And you can't quite, you can kind of get the feel on this map, but where we put that yellow line in is basically at the intersection of the property line across the street. It kind of goes right down there, connects up with that road and brings it right in. Like you said, the other option is to bring it down here. There's an existing road, as you can
But
see on the
that's-
plan, that goes right there that we couldn't use. We'd have to kind of
Yeah.
bisect that area.
Yeah.
But, we can do that. And the distance, so the distance is 865. So if you kind of, from the yellow line, so if you kind of like rough this, rough that, let's just see what, come down there, bang it, turn, right there, that is
661.
661, so it cuts off a couple hundred feet, which is
Yeah.
probably 20 less truckloads.
well, the only problem with that, though, is it, then that kind of eliminates this little piece for Charlie to farm.
No, he'd still farm it anyhow, I mean, that's not, actually, it'd be much easier for him to farm exactly the way it is, as we see the new conceptual thing, because it's much more, he plows on the other side of their driveway also
Yeah.
at this time.
Yeah, on the other section, the other side of the house.
Well, I think we can take it under advisement and
Well, what's Rich got to say?
The only thing I have to add is that when we talked with Dana Boucher, and he didn't see a problem with keeping the topsoil on the land.
well, that would definitely stay there, yes.
Yeah, and spread it out where Charlie said it. Like, for instance, there's a piece there that's real light. If we went with the original plan, I mean, that
Yeah, right.
right there,
Yeah.
that could use some good topsoil.
Yeah.
There's probably not a heck of a lot of topsoil up here toward the road, but once you get down to the river, you could have 4 feet down there. And so the idea was to make the end surface as level as possible with the existing grade, so that if he wanted to drive over it directly, he could. But,
Did Dana give you any idea on cost?
he's gonna donate a lot. Just rough, Rick has said that he'll donate the materials. Dana said that he would donate the only thing that he'd do it on weekends, and he'd pay the operators, so that would be a cost. The biggest cost right now is trucking from Litchfield Sand and Gravel down to the site. Just general, we think for $5,000 we can do it. And you gotta figure that there's a lot of materials going in there, you know? We're talking,
A lot going in
yeah,
to build the,
to the gravel road, there'll be a lot of gravel.
You're gonna have to take out X number, unbelievable yards of material.
Yeah.
Talking
Move it
with
around.
Dana, I thought that he'd have to scoop out maybe down a foot, maybe even more. Scoop it out all the way down, spread the soil to other parts, come in and put in a gravel base of, I can't remember.
4-inch.
4-inch gravel, and that would be, X deep, whatever, a foot deep, 24 inches deep, and then come on top, there would be, like knit
Stone
pack
base, yeah.
or, something else with less less
We're
size.
talking
gravel.
about 18 feet wide, which,
There you go.
is not super highway, but, you could, two cars could
Pass
move.
each other on it.
Yeah, without driving into the field.
so we couldn't do anything now before fall, and
No.
when Charlie's done in there.
What's the distance as far as from the parking lot to the edge of the river?
So, what we're showing there, again, is just conceptual. You can move that actually down here, but say it was in this vicinity,
Roughly.
and you're talking edge of the river is about right there,
185 feet.
185 feet. And if you can picture, when you get down into here, on one of the maps, I think you can see it, but there's a trail that goes down to the river there, and it actually comes up over here. It's like there was a turnaround
It's on,
at one point in time.
it's on here, the green.
That would require only a little bit of cleanup, right, Pete?
Yeah,
You just
it
have
was-
to go in there and just pull some scrub
We're just
out.
gonna have to pull some scrub, there's some,
Yeah.
branches that have fallen down, clean up some, but it won't require cutting any trees or anything.
I think, just editorializing a minute, I think this would be tremendous for Litchfield to be able to do this. You know, we've had this natural resource all along, and, you know, for whatever reason, we've never been able to have public access. And I just think it would be a tremendous thing. I don't think that we'd want to advertise the fact that it's there so that, you know, everybody in the world would come. But I think it would be, not that I'd ever be able to use it, but I think it'd be tremendous for the town.
I totally echo what Rich said. I mean, I would not put a advertisement out there that said.
No, we're not putting something in the Union Leader, having a ribbon cutting.
I wouldn't put anything in Hudson Litchfield.
With the big
News either.
scissors.
No,
I just let it just.
the Litchfield Hudson News maybe, but
I
not the
wouldn't
Hudson
put it there. I
Litchfield.
wouldn't put it in
I
everything.
wouldn't
That's
even
pretty
put it in
widespread.
that
You'd
one
end up with
either.
1,000 people up here on weekends. from
Yeah,
everywhere,
I know.
included.
I know.
I think just word of mouth, once the word gets out, especially fishermen. Fishermen, if they find a place that's easy to get in and out of, the
Yep.
word of mouth spreads fast.
Yeah, somebody went to the Recreation Commission, right? And
I
they were
did.
very supportive.
Went to the Recreation Commission, they were extremely supportive, and they had that discussion as well about out-of-towners, and they mentioned that, this is a few weeks ago, so I'm sort of forgetting, but I think they mentioned something like they could put an ordinance in place that, or the sign up that says it's only for use by
Litchfield
town
residents.
residents only.
Yeah, it's
Whether
not
that
federal
deters
land, so you
people.
don't have to open it up then.
I'm not for that. I mean, I go hiking on the Musquash property in Londonderry and.
As long as you don't have a problem, but if people start littering and you're having a problem,
Right,
then.
right, and then we find that it's people coming from out of town, but to say somebody can't use it, I don't know, it's just anti-American to me.
And now there was, I don't know if it was the school board or the Recreation Commission, I think the selectman was here the other day, he was talking about, and I am vehemently opposed to this idea, having kayaks down there for people to use. There
No,
is no
no,
way, the
no.
liability would
The
be
liability.
huge.
Liability, they'll get stolen,
Yeah.
damaged. There's
If
no reason to have
Somebody goes out there
them
without a
down there.
life jacket, who are they gonna sue?
Exactly.
Right, right.
That's not gonna happen.
You supplied the death instrument.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's not gonna happen.
I mean, I live on the river, and believe me, in my backyard, I had my canoe stolen. It wasn't in the river, it was on the land.
Yeah.
Well, Kevin Lynch has had his boat
Yeah,
stolen.
several
Right
times.
right there in the river, so, you know,
Wow.
you're-
And
anything
several
you put on the
people
river is
up-
fair game.
You know, behind the golf course, they've had incidences.
No, the river right now is so heavily used. I was talking to one of my customers that lives over the line in Hudson, and he was saying, if you can name it, that's what's coming up the river now. I mean, every size ever you can imagine.
Except that when you get to like Budweiser, there's a bunch of rocks, so
Yeah, oh
they may
yeah.
not be able to get up this
Oh, yeah,
far.
but they're coming up quite a ways. I mean,
Yeah.
he lives just over the line in Hudson, and he said it's unbelievable what you're seeing out there. He said,
Speedboats.
yeah.
Yeah.
mhm.
I can't believe that people would run.
Oh, yeah, I mean, like where I am, I've heard boats go up that far, and I've heard that amazing scraping sound as they hit rocks. And,
As the prop comes off. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
once they get over by 293 where the sewage treatment plant is, there's no way they're going any further
They're not
than
going much
that.
further.
Yeah,
It's too bad they didn't. Too bad
I
they
know
didn't.
that over by the Manchester Bridge, I know that, I've been over there, and it was fairly quiet. Now, looks like more people are starting to use that, you know. by
Up the 293 bridge?
Where we
Yeah.
went up there to
Yeah,
look.
there's quite a bit of launching taking
Oh, yeah.
place up there to kayak, put their canoes and kayaks in and come down.
Yeah, you have to
Yeah.
go over by where that back surgery place is. There's a road that goes right down there, and underneath the bridge is a beautiful boat launch right over there,
On the Bedford side.
on the Bedford side, yeah.
I was gonna say, no, we got a bed, back surgery on the side of the river.
It takes too long to get on the other
That's
side.
right. Yeah.
So where do we go from here? I didn't call the, state about the shoreline permit.
I think at this point, we're taking under advisement, and we'll discuss it some more, and.
Yeah,
we'll
they're
to come
probably
back
gonna
and
have to have
further discussion.
environmental impact and,
No, I don't think you have to
so.
go to
The
that.
condos over there.
Shoreline,
It's all
just don't-
existing.
We'll ask.
It's all existing,
We ask
so-
for forgiveness after.
Uh,
Yeah, there's no cut, you're not
cutting.
gonna have to cut one tree.
Nothing.
Not
I'm
making
just-
a clean up in there.
And,
Just asking, you know.
So what we're doing is, and we'll need to reconvene our committee hopefully within the next few weeks, is trying to nail down some costs from the local paving companies to see what the actual costs will be to do this.
Yeah.
And then I think we'll finally have a final package, and maybe that will have two different things, you know, if the road comes down this
Plan A
way.
and Plan B.
Plan A, Plan B,
Mhm.
and maybe have costs related to each one of those, then I think
Yeah.
that we'll be
That would
in
be
good shape, and we'll have all the questions answered with the exception of if we need any permits, which I don't believe
I think the
we
cutoff-
do, with the exception of a driveway
It's
permit.
existing, that's right.
Driveway, yeah,
from the
driveway.
state
We
DOT.
just have to make sure of those boundaries, because we wouldn't want to put a road in and then,
Are there pins there?
We've got a stone bound up at the road where it says pin found.
Yeah.
We've got a stone bound there,
and then we got one down.
and then they've got one for the
What did
house
Margaret say
down
when
there.
she was on the committee? Did she say that they have their boundary on
Well,
that
that we
corner?
found one down here, right by the river.
Yeah,
Yeah, I saw.
it's just the
I've seen that.
two where the
The
boundary
turns on.
line kind of,
Yeah,
Yeah,
jogs.
where the dog leg
Yeah.
outside is, yeah.
On the gravel, what do you need, small stone, like this?
Ricky will know all that. He'll-
Yeah.
Well, the reason I ask is that the Londonderry Fish and Game Club has built a rather long-range shooting range. And let me talk to the president, because we had excess gravel that we were trying to get rid of. And I don't know if they have completely got rid of it.
That's more trucking costs, so if they're gonna donate the material closer,
But we still have to get, still have the trucking cost, but yeah.
yeah,
I
but,
mean,
right, there would be
Yeah,
trucking
but,
costs
okay,
there.
so you pay for the truck,
Either way.
but you don't have to pay for the material.
Right.
Why not?
I don't know, let me ask the
You
question.
can ask the question, it doesn't cost anything.
Yeah, I don't know if they have any.
I think, just as a courtesy, we need to talk to Charlie
Oh, yeah.
definitely.
and get his feeling.
I talked to him once,
On
but
where
we
the
need to
roads-
talk to him
We
again.
need to have him and Dana talk is what we need to do.
Yeah.
Those are the
Yeah.
only two. Let him and Dana talk, and whatever they recommend is what I would go with. Other than that, I probably won't go with anything. But if Dana and Charlie come up with a consensus, because I mean, we acquired this land to preserve conservation land for agricultural purposes. So I have some real constraints on this. I really do personally, heartburn over it. Especially if we go smack through the middle of the field, it totally destroy the field in my opinion. So it
Well,
gives me
like you say,
heartburn
let
big time.
Dana and Charlie talk,
Yeah.
and
And if they come up
and I
with a
think,
consensus
you know, we need
between
to
the two
have
of them.
Dana maybe come into a conservation meeting. I don't think Charlie will come, but
Yeah, because I keep looking at it, and if he's
No,
got
that
that
totally
road, it
destroys it,
kinda,
yeah.
yeah.
Destroys the field. It destroys the aesthetics that we were trying to preserve when we bought this land, in my opinion, is one.
well, we
member.
also bought it because there was 200 feet on the river.
Yeah, that was my main reason why I voted to buy this.
Mainly,
is-
I voted for
Farmland
to take
and
the
the
farmland,
river
not to put a road through the middle of it. That's why if we're gonna put on the
I
side.
don't think we're gonna be destroying the field.
Oh, we do. You put a road through the middle of it, you destroy the field. That's why I say if you put it on the side,
It's not like we're gonna build houses on it.
Yeah, but you're putting, I agree with you, Tom. You're
Charlie's
putting a-
exact words. to
Not
me
that I'm
were-
against it, okay, but you are putting a road,
well.
But Charlie
it's not
spoke
for
to her
nothing.
and said it was,
no, I actually
They
talked to
could go
Charlie
in.
as well, and Charlie says no. He talked to her, yes, but that's not what he meant.
Well, then we need to
He'll tell you what
have-
you wanna hear. Charlie will tell you what you wanna hear. So that's what I said, we'll get Charlie and Dana talking, if they come up
Well,
with a
either way.
consensus.
As far as, once we come to a conclusion where we want it, what Dana said, all we need to do is have somebody stake it out
Mhm.
and arrange for the trucking, and he said he could pretty much take care of it from that.
That's why I say if him and Charlie can hammer it out, I mean, I think we'd be all right.
who's Dana?
Dan Bush of DLB paving.
Oh.
That's Charlie's nephew.
Oh,
Oh, there you go.
My brother-in-law's nephew.
I really think that this would be an asset for the town, I really do. The river is so landlocked that there's no way you can get on there unless you actually know somebody. And I fish the river a lot, and I would just love to see this happen.
I think it'd be the best thing that we could do. And these guys, run the website, and they did a little thing of what people would want. What's the numbers that you have there?
It was, by far running away was river access, and it was like three times.
it's the
the
Litchfield
boat.
What's Up Facebook page. So it's town people or people interested
No,
in
no,
town. You've been on it? And we had probably
They
about
had
20
more-
different improvements for the
They had
town on
more
it.
results on their survey than the planning board had.
Never thought of having, yeah.
We had, yeah, almost 2,000
We had about
votes.
200.
Yeah.
I think I personally think it's a good idea.
It's just how we approach it, that's all.
Yeah, and,
What would happen if instead of putting the parking lot where you have it? Right now, you have the parking lot like here.
Yeah,
What would happen if you put the parking lot here?
nothing.
And then if you're gonna run the road like this, then that would still leave this field mostly intact for Charlie.
I think if you put the head-in parking like that or back-in parking, you'll get less, if you come in this way, you may get less cars, but you'll also get people driving. This field, people will be driving all over that.
Well,
I think either way,
wasn't one side pretty hard packed on
yeah,
that?
this was pretty hard packed from what we remember. But if you go down there, either way, I don't think you're gonna be able to farm, or you're gonna wanna farm that.
Yeah.
With people driving, it just takes one person to run through a field.
And that's the other issue too, that once the road is in there and he's got crops there, then I hope people aren't gonna just be helping themselves to the crops.
Yeah, that
Corn
would-
and
That would be a
squash.
problem, the nature of people.
I think, knowing this town, and knowing, people that, outdoor people, they'll self-police that. I know if I saw someone grabbing some corn or whatever.
And I
I'd
don't
pick up
think
the
they're
phone.
gonna go in more than 2 or 3 feet off the side of the road. I wouldn't wanna be in there. All kinds
Oh,
of,
they walk.
one other quick question, now, we're talking about carry-on stuff. What about if someone brings in a trailer when they bring their boat in?
They're not gonna be able to get their boat down there.
No, like I have to
A
carry
trailer in the parking
canoe on the
lot.
trailer.
Oh,
oh,
I don't know, we could post it as carry-on only.
Yeah,
yeah.
because it really
No
wouldn't be a room to
trailers?
set
Well,
a
the only
trailer.
reason I ask is, anybody been over to Canopy Lake at all?
Oh, yeah,
Okay, over by the waterworks,
Oh,
the
yeah.
parking lot,
yeah. They
and,
fight for parking space over there.
yeah, I know. And what happens is that people bring their trailers in, and they'll just park them every which way,
Yeah.
you
that's a good
know?
idea.
And,
I think we
there's-
should post it, no trailers.
Yeah.
And there's one entrance in, God, look, I don't know what the problem is, but they'll try to get as close to the pond as possible, and they just shut off the access.
Yeah.
So if
Oh,
you're,
okay.
you're carrying your
And I gotta go another 100
You
feet.
gotta go all around.
canoe or your kayak, it makes it a little difficult. It's very aggravating. So it's just something to keep in mind. Trials and tribulations.
Right. Okay, we'll see if we can get Dana and Charlie together.
So our punch list is try to get Dana and Charlie together. I can mock up another plan, Joan, and put this down the other side and set up some stationing there as well to see how far it is. My only question would be, Joan, I can't remember back to my planning board days, if you can have 2 driveways, is there a certain distance?
Like 200 feet.
Okay,
I think that we had measured, that was probably like right on, I
Yeah,
think.
just about.
yeah, so we would have to,
There's telephone poles right near there, isn't there?
yep,
And wouldn't the driveway have to be 20 feet off of the lot
No.
line?
No,
It can be right on it?
yeah.
Yeah, can be right on it.
Okay.
Are we too close to the Bergs?
Well, that's what we were just saying. I think you have to be 200 feet from another driveway. And I think we're right at that point.
Oh, where it says farm pin from.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
in fact, yeah.
Oh, we're quite a ways,
Get you onto this stuff.
says 130.
that's 139, right?
Yeah, 200 feet might be near that
Oh.
telephone pole.
Okay, well,
That's
ask
319, hold
DOT.
on.
No, you don't ask, just put them in.
Well, if you put it together, then it would be a straight shot down there.
Yeah, it's actually, you put it right there.
But isn't there a pretty big elevation difference between the field and the road over there?
Not too bad.
It's not too bad, but it's more of a
It's
dip.
bigger,
Yeah.
it's bigger, but it's not, I mean, the most anywhere in there is maybe 5 or 6 feet. Where the good place that we originally said was like 3 feet.
Yeah.
So it's not a tremendous difference. But that's 200 right there, huh?
Yeah, about 200,
196.
Okay. I think it's 200.
Yeah.
Now, when the river
That's
drops, it's still fairly, it's not steep, right?
No.
No.
There's some real deep holes right off in there, though. Real deep holes.
Oh, are there?
Good fishing.
Yeah.
25, 30 feet, yeah.
Okay. And,
That's the problem with most of the sites along the river. There's a huge bank, and
oh, no, I agree with you, no question about it. Just another question. What happens if the river gets high? Will that parking lot be back enough so it shouldn't be affected?
That area does flood.
You know, like the Mother's Day storm.
Yeah.
That area floods, and then it does flood back in that
Yeah.
stream. That stream that's along, I think is on the property line to the north.
we
Is there a
use
stream?
waterproof gravel.
Pardon?
Yeah.
We use waterproof gravel.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we have it coated.
Well, the only reason I ask is, and only from experience, you go down there and all of a sudden, somebody gets stuck, or, you know, there's some
Well.
kind of problem, or.
We can't regulate stupidity.
No, I understand that, I totally agree with you. But you wanna try to eliminate as many,
Yeah. I think
Yeah, we got
anytime the river gets high, you're gonna get people that are gonna wanna go down there and they're gonna get themselves in
And then
trouble.
if the river, like in the spring, when it's
Yeah.
running fast and cold, you just shut it down. You don't
Yeah.
want people down there then.
Assume that there be a sign there and maybe some sort of gate like there is at Dara, where you can swing a check if necessary.
Maybe,
a
yeah.
sign that says, you know, between,
Dawn and
between
dusk.
the hours of such and such.
Yeah.
Dawn and dusk like the other place.
Because you'll get some individuals, oh, I can go night fishing.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't want that, that's liability. Well, you night fish?
I'm sure you've done a little night fishing.
Yeah.
I think everybody has at one time.
Thank you for all your hard work on these maps, very nice.
Very nice maps, nice
Yeah, so,
presentation.
Very good presentation.
and then we'd be looking at like April through
Do
October,
we,
something like that.
Joan, do you know anybody, like Dana said that we need to have it staked out?
Greg Jeffries comes to mind first
Okay.
of all, so maybe we could, once we pick a
Pick a
site.
Yeah.
So I'll mark that up, I'll provide you with the file. In the meantime, we're still talking with a couple of paving companies, and we'll try to figure out what the actual cost would be. We'll do the alternative A and B,
Right.
and then when I give you these, you can talk to,
Well, wait, are you gonna talk to Dana again and have him, did you talk to Dana already?
Oh, yeah,
Have him talk to Charlie and see what Charlie's concerns are.
okay.
Or I can-
I've already heard Charlie's concerns, and, you know, they're completely different than we're hearing, but,
Well, we need
let
to
him
hear
and Dana
what
talk
he
it out.
wants. And then the river committee will have another, set up another meeting after,
Yeah.
what, after you do the mock-up of A and B?
Yep.
And get some costs.
Yeah, if we shoot for after harvest, let's say October, November, sometime that, before the ground freezes up, that sort of thing, we should have time to put a pretty good plan together.
For a plan for construction when?
In the fall.
in the fall.
Money?
We gotta find money, yeah.
Well, we have to have the money from somewhere, you know.
We do.
Might be after town meeting.
Someone mentioned impact fees. Does the rec committee have?
I don't think impact fees will work. Impact fees are to expand your, not to make a new use, to expand your, like if you needed more classrooms, to expand for excess population, for more population. So it's not to make a new project,
For the rec committee?
for any impact fee.
Okay.
I
Ask
think,
Troy.
I think that they're tapped out anyway.
Yeah, with the Jeff Road.
Jeff Lane, yeah.
Well, it seems to me that this town's wealthy enough that this project would be worth somewhere, I figure, around $50,000. if we could get it done for $5,000, and it'd be such a tremendous thing for the town.
I think it would be
You
no
know,
problem raising the money at town meeting.
All righty.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Expected more of the committee to come.
Fishing derby wrap up.
I guess they had about,
Thanks, folks.
thank
Yeah,
you,
Thanks for coming in.
35 to 40 kids, I guess. Well, Harry was there. How many kids? You think like 35, 40?
Yeah, somewhere between 35 and 40 kids.
And-
Things went fairly okay. We had a couple incidences. The first one was that we had caught an individual who brought alcohol with him, with his kids, fishing.
Really?
On
Yes,
Saturday
really.
morning, at what time?
Saturday morning, yeah.
Pardon?
Saturday morning, what time?
It was probably around 9 or 10-ish.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I went over and personally spoke to him, asked him point blank if he did have alcohol, and asked him if he could please, if he wanted to continue fishing, it would be fine, but could you please remove the alcohol? And he claimed he lived in the neighborhood.
So,
Pardon?
so you live in the neighborhood?
No, I'm just saying, just for the record, that he claimed he lived in the neighborhood and he couldn't understand what my complaint was. And I just explained to him that this is a fishing derby,
Yeah.
and it was private property, and we really don't appreciate having alcohol available. That was one incident. The second incident, again, was over by the dam, there is this tree, and apparently it's a magnet for
Tree climbers?
tree climbers. And again, I don't know how, for a volunteer, I get roped into this one too. Had to go over and talk to 4 boys and explain to them that this is private
Well,
property.
Marion talked to them also.
Yeah, well, no, she talked to the mother,
Oh,
okay?
And you talked to the boys?
Well, no, there were two separate,
Oh.
so I explained to the boys that this was private property, that they did not own the tree, they did not own the property, and then by doing that was damaging someone else's property, and they had no permission to do that, okay? About a half an hour later, I see another particular young man up in the tree bouncing up and down on a limb, and theoretically, he was supposedly trying to get his bobber, but it looked like he was ready to break the limb off. I spoke to him, and his mother got very agitated at me, and I just politely, again, kind of backed off and said it was private property, and we were not allowed to, destroy or break someone else's property. And that's when she got involved. She felt that she needed to follow up on my conversation. So, but outside of that, they went pretty good. The kids caught a lot of fish.
good.
That was good, and,
Well, we had donation of worms from Paul Lemire.
yeah. And now, did she give you is it time to bring this up now, or?
What?
Well, I think that card that Miriam gave you, or
The what?
a business card from that guy Paul.
Oh, I don't think I got the business card. I know who it is, though.
Yeah.
Okay, what he said was that you have indicated that, you would like to retire from the fishing derby, right?
Well, I think the commission should
That's
retire
something
from
that the commission has to discuss, but,
They have to
Oh,
discuss.
okay,
yeah.
well, that's why I'm bringing it up.
That was
Because
supposed to be
Paul
discussed.
Lemire has volunteered or has indicated interest in sponsoring the fishing derby, okay? And-
Through himself or through the commission?
Pardon?
Through himself or through the commission?
I didn't know what to ask the questions,
Okay.
so let me, if it's okay with you guys, is it okay if I ask that question?
Well, I think when we have a full board, we should
Yeah, we need to have everybody
discuss
discuss
if we're gonna
whether
continue
we're gonna continue or not.
or not.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that it was the whole board that,
Yeah.
was
yeah,
deciding not to.
Yeah.
Well, no,
No,
I know
not-
there's
not-
2 people that aren't too much in favor of going on, but the whole board has to decide,
Okay,
whole commission.
well, can we just carry this over
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
next
next
meeting?
meeting, too, we have more people here.
and then I'll know what questions to ask him.
Sure.
Yeah, right.
My gut feeling was that he would sponsor the whole thing. That's what he,
Yeah, but there's,
Kind of,
there's more to it than sponsoring.
Yeah.
There's the permit you have to get, there's signs you put up, there's
oh, no, I
little bit of work.
understand all that. And like I said, I think he kind of realized that, but I don't know.
All right,
Okay,
we'll see.
yeah, we'll work on that.
We'll put it on the next agenda.
Okay,
Yeah,
clean up on
certainly have
3A,
time.
a wrap-up.
We had
We're
about,
doing
I
wrap-ups
think,
tonight.
6 to 8 bags. We didn't, there was 3 of us, so we did, before Memorial Day, we did from the firehouse south, because that's where the parade would have gone.
Yeah.
Someone decided to change it.
So we did that part. We got 6 bags just on that section. And then you did the
Yeah, I
northern
got a
part.
couple bags at the other end, from my house to Kevin's house.
So that was
From
that.
Hillcrest to Kevin's house.
We'll do it again when the black flies aren't out there.
And we're lucky enough that, Jack picked up the bag, so we
Yeah.
went to get out there for the
Yeah.
weekend, so
Yeah.
Jack took care of it for us. Do we have some rainfall report? This
Gurgle, gurgle.
Yeah.
it's underwater.
Gosh, rainfall.
Well, for the month of May, we had 13.8 inches of
Oh, my
rain.
God.
One storm on the 25th, 26th, I had 3.3 inches at one 24-hour period.
Wow, I can believe it.
And then on the 7th and 8th, we had 2.8 inches on that 24 hours. So, I mean, we definitely have to be out of the drought by now, I would think.
We should be.
I know the river's right up there,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, they pulled the irrigation pump out of the golf course again this week. The river come up over 6 feet.
The lowest temperature I recorded at 6 o'clock was on the 9th, it was 31 degrees, and the warmest was on the 19th, was 63. But that's at 6 o'clock, so that's not the high and the low of the day, so.
What's supposedly the average rainfall for here, for May, do you know?
I don't know, but I wouldn't think it'd be any more than 4 or 5 inches.
Well, no, because on the news, all they said was that, in that, I mean, I agree with you on the amount of rain, but all they said was that we were 6 inches above normal for May, and only 3 inches above normal for the year. Now,
But it varies from area to area. It's incredible how much difference it is from, even in
Area
this
to
town.
area.
yeah,
We've discussed this quite extensively. Roger has his own device which he measures for us.
no, I'm not, I
But the state must go with, I would imagine, a Concord reading. I don't know where they measure.
would
it.
imagine
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah, well, they take an airport reading, I believe, in Nashville, but
Yes.
also Pennachuck Water. They're a NOAA station. They record the water there, the rain there.
Yeah, I swear to God, though, on some of the reports you hear on TV, somebody put a cap on the rain gauge.
Yeah,
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 right.
yeah.
Yeah, we had 3 inches this week alone. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause I have my simple rain gauge and I emptied over a half inch, and then it was 2.5.
Well,
oh,
it
2.5,
poured what,
an inch and a half
yeah.
strong the next day.
Yeah, poured all night Monday night and all day Tuesday, because we had company. Then
My
Sunday
grass has
about
never
Wednesday.
been
That
this
was good. They left, yeah.
Yeah, so,
Yeah, even I have a good-looking lawn this year.
Yeah, me too. And
And that's
we
rare.
mowed the lawn 3 times last year. That's where, should be mowing it soon.
I just cut it before I got here tonight. Yeah.
Did we make a motion on Matthews, or are we just gonna send his paperwork to the selectmen
I'm
first?
just gonna send it to the selectmen.
Okay.
I think his intent is good.
Okay,
So you want to enter this into the records?
sure.
Comes the rain. Other items for review or discussion?
I don't have anything.
Minutes for May 4th.
Okay, here's 3 copies. Send them down.
Coming down at you. Oh, there's 3 in there. There's 1 copy or 3 copies in that one?
There's 3.
There's 3 there.
Only 2,
Pass it down.
2 pages.
sorry.
Did you get one yet?
My fingers are getting old.
Mine are too. Okay. We can do the double side.
Oh, I haven't heard, anything from Eagle Scout. Has anybody heard, have you heard anything from Eagle Scout lately?
No, not a word.
Probably wait till, once school gets out.
The gentleman in reference to the farmer golf course, he contacted you, right?
Which former golf?
Moores Falls, the top of the
Oh,
hill.
Steve Walker, yeah.
Yeah,
He's
he talked
the,
to me. Did Did you get his, did he give you?
Yeah.
Did you give him his email address?
Yeah.
Didn't.
Because they're gonna send the report via email this year.
I did tell him he authorized the use of the hill at the top for the emergency water situation. And that they
Oh,
would
yeah, I
be-
told them that too, that
and they would
we
be
had
reseeding it and.
logged
reclaiming it.
and that, they were up there.
Yeah.
So, these guys and some other people had suggested, now they've spread loam by our rocks there, that they, would really be nice if they put some trees there too. But I asked Troy about that, but I don't think it went anywhere.
Where were you looking?
Morris Falls property,
Yeah, but no, so where? What are you talking about, trees, where?
along between the road and the rocks. They moved the rocks back
Okay.
towards the river a little bit.
Oh.
And there'd be space to put city trees or shade trees or something, not too big of a tree,
Yeah.
but I don't think that's gonna
Have
happen.
you
Yeah.
talked to Jack?
When you
I
go
talked to
down
Jack
the
and
trail
Troy.
to Morse Falls, it's the right-hand trail that you take. I haven't been down there in a while.
Well, now, they put the skid road in, so you start at the rocks, and then there's a skid road that's more open than the grassy path is kind of grassy, but the skid road's all open, so you can walk down
Okay,
there.
but that's the one to be on the right-hand side, right?
Of what? Right-hand side of what?
Well, when you go down, the last time I went down there was a path that went to the left and there was a path that went to the right.
The old trolley track?
Yeah,
Yeah, you go left.
go left.
Get to the river?
Go left or go straight across,
Go straight across.
and it
There's
follows
a
the
new little
brook.
path that goes straight across.
Just go down and explore, you'll find your way. If you
Well,
know what's
apparently, because I did go left and I ended up almost by the school.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's a trolley track.
That's the trolley track, and then take a right to get to the river. It's
But if
all
you-
open.
Okay.
When you come down to the trolley tracks, if you basically just go right across, there's
Yeah.
a path that follows the brook down there, right to the river, and then the path follows the river.
Okay,
Yeah.
I guess I
It-
should take another walk.
Yeah, it's really nice down there.
Yeah.
And it's so much more open now that they've done the
Yeah.
Forestry.
Anyhow, without a
Yeah,
quorum.
for some reason, don't ask
Have a
me
quorum.
why, I thought it was
Other
more
people, not, a lot
toward
of people were asking.
Manchester
Brent said
than
that
it
doesn't
was
matter,
towards.
it's just to have a quorum at this meeting.
There is a trail that'll take you towards Darko Stables, but we don't own
Yeah,
that
they
field
can
out there,
read the
that
minutes
belongs to the
and
stable.
Well,
Oh.
yeah, they won't know the
Yeah,
content.
we just,
Well,
actually,
somebody's planting corn?
yeah, our property line is actually basically the tree line over there
Building is gone.
Okay,
on that side.
so you stay to the, okay, I'll take a walk down there,
What's the
stay
bill of
left.
the public service
And water,
and water.
gone.
Did you ever go down to,
Everybody's upset about
you
it.
said you were gonna
The
go
owners
down
are
and look
upset
at
about
the stream, you know,
Decent
that little
people, too.
2 acre?
Oh, Parker
Decent-
Park?
decent
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, no, I haven't made it down there,
Okay,
yeah.
You spent a lot of money. Oh
When I saw those plans, I knew we spent a lot of money.
my God, that's horrible. Okay, is there a motion? Are you still reading? Roger?
I'm still reading.
Okay.
And then, COVID's gonna come down in price.
No, I wouldn't think so, no.
But it's foolish, because if you bring electricity there, the next piece is worth
It's
that much
worth-
more.
That's right, exactly. I know, I thought the same thing.
Guess everything seems to be in order.
Okay, I'll make a motion, we approve the May 4th minutes.
I'll second.
All in favor will signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous?
Yeah, I'd like to keep up on these minutes so we don't fall behind.
Yeah,
We're
like
doing
we
good
did
so
a couple
far.
months ago.
Yeah, right.
Good.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Question.
No questions.
Do,
Motion. Go ahead.
do we want to take a breather through the summer months with meetings? I mean, we don't seem to have an awful lot going on here, like we did, I think, last
Yeah,
year.
well, the planning board I know has to meet once a month. I don't believe we do. I think I checked this last year,
Last year, I thought we took July and August off.
No, just July. I think.
July, I think.
Oh,
Just July. I think considering the fact that the boat launch is potentially in the works, I think we probably should meet in August just in case they have
August,
some
yeah.
requests.
I
But
think, yeah,
definitely, I think we take a sabbatical.
skip July, 'cause
in
that's July 4th
I'm gonna be
week.
gone that week, I mean, I don't know about, but usually we take that one off.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm practicing.
So the next meeting would be August, wait a minute, what month are we in? June?
Last time I checked.
August.
We're in
August
August.
3rd, August 3rd.
We're in August already, the summer's gone. Okay, August 3rd,
Believe that motorcycle week is here already.
that's right.
You still need a pen for a second?
Oh, you can borrow it.
But we'll get your application to the selectmen and then they'll interview you.
They'll contact you and if they're going in.
I'll give that to
Thank you for your
Troy,
interest.
or Monday.
And who made the comment about some young blood being around for a change? Oh, Roger did.
We could all make that comment.
Because you realize Joan's the youngest member of the board. No, yeah, Joan's the youngest member of the board.
I think Roger is.
Oh, I don't think so.
Hey, I'll take it.
Yeah, he's old and I'm old.
I'm 68.
Okay, then, yeah, I got you by a slight margin.
Okay, entertain a motion to adjourn, or trying
Oh,
again?
there
I'll
already,
make a motion,
there already is one on there. Joan made it and I seconded it.
Okay.
Okay, we'll do it again. All right, all in favor, say aye.
Yeah.
Aye.
Opposed?